Good afternoon, YouTubers. Well, Fiona's got a new present, a new toy. And here it is. She's been waiting for it. It took a while to arrive. And if you're over 18, you can buy one of these on Amazon. It's an airsoft gun.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies, gentlemen, earthlings, beings on this wonderful planet that we all live on. Monday today, and each day brings something new, doesn't it? Well, not as far as Markle's concerned. I don't think we're gonna see any sort of development in the next few days or weeks or anything like that. I think they're stuck at a little bit of an impasse, if you ask me. So I thought we'd talk about something completely different today. Now, don't freak out. I'm wearing my most Wyatt Earpy outfit today. I really like this. I'm sort of feeling very upright citizen. And there's a reason. And I don't want you to freak out because I know that some of you don't like guns. And I agree with you. I'm not into guns and shooting actual guns. And I certainly don't like the idea of shooting animals. I know some people do. I'm not judging because people who live in the countryside is run in a very different way, and I've never really lived like that. But I told you a few weeks ago that Graham had ordered me a toy. Something that I asked him to buy for me. Now, this is an Airsoft. It's a toy. It's not a gun, so don't freak out. But I wanted it for a very special purpose, and that is not to shoot it. I want to learn to sling it, to be a gunslinger. Now, I can do a revolver, you know, I've practiced at that, but it arrived today. Here it is. Now, the reason I wanted this particular one, there's a clue, look at the mechanism on that. And then you know, it operates off gas, is because this is an 1887, it's a sawn-off replica of a shotgun. And if you cast your mind back to Terminator 2, the movie, this is what Arnold Schwarzenegger had. It was a black one, I think. It didn't have the chrome plate like this. And it was when the little kid was on the motorcycle being chased by the Terminator in an articulated lorry cab, and they're going down a riverbed, and the lorry's gaining on the little kid. I don't even know why I'm describing the scene, because I'm sure you all know it. And then Arnie appears on a bigger motorcycle, grabs the kid, and he's got one of these. And he keeps slinging it and firing at the tyres of the articulated cab. So I want to learn how to do what Arnie did. So that's all this is for. Because this actually comes with cartridges. So I think if I pull the trigger, oh, I love that noise. It's cool, isn't it? It's so, I don't know, I'll be back. I'm crazy about it, and I'm looking forward to it. And don't worry about my coffee tables, because I am aware there's a glass table in the garden and a glass table in the living room. And the last thing I want to do is practice slinging and it gets away from me and smashes the coffee table. I know it's daft, isn't it? Small things please small minds, I suppose. But and then I think I might hang it on the wall, because it's really rather magnificent. Do you know, I've met some extraordinary people throughout my walk of life, and one of them, actually, I'm sure a lot of you have been with me a long time, will remember me saying, I knew a guy who hijacked an aeroplane once. I mean, he did it, I think, I'm not sure if I would not been born when he did it, so I met him years later. I think I might have been about 3 or 4 years old when that happened. And then I met him many, many years later after he'd served his sentence. Now, I met him in another walk of life. Extraordinary guy, really extraordinary. I'll put a link in the description for those of you that don't know. His name was Pete McCarry, and they made a movie about him. He used to, I think he lived in Bondi Beach in Australia. He was actually British. And after he served his sentence, he was evicted from Australia and he came back to the UK. He was British, and that's where I met him, in Shoreham. It's funny the people that you meet through life, isn't it? I've known some extraordinarily talented, very talented people who are talented at really, really specific and specialist things, shall we say. And I've learned a trick or two from them as well. And we have the odd catch-up once in a while. It's amazing the characters that you meet. So I don't know if you guys have ever seen a YouTuber who, he's a guy that challenges himself to do something. He's a little bit like Dude Perfect. I can't think of the name of the channel. Massive channel. And like he'll challenge himself to spin a playing card so that it cuts into a piece of fruit. And he's there for weeks, you know, toss, 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 until he finally does it. And his channel is very much about proving that we're all capable. You know, if you're determined enough, where there's a will, there's a way. And so my thing is, I'm going to be a good gunslinger, but not a good gun shooter. Well, you all saw my effort. I can hit a target, but this comes with like little shotgun cartridges that have 3 little plastic balls in. So it's not exactly like a 12-bore shotgun where you're going to hit the target and it will just obliterate it. I would imagine, I haven't fired it yet because as I say I have no interest, but I would imagine it's just going to be like, I've watched a few YouTube videos and there's another YouTuber who only ever shows his hands, Mike something, Airsoft Mike, and he did a review on one of these, but I don't think it was the chrome one. I'm so excited, isn't it childish? But the gunslinging and toy slinging will have to wait, because I'm off down to the boat in a bit. I'm going to have to get changed out of this and continue with the work. So, what challenges, what challenge could you set yourself today? Something that you think you can't possibly achieve, and just it's grit and determination, you know, isn't it? Until you actually achieve something. I'm not sure how it's going to benefit my life, learning to sling a gun, but it's going to feel good. I used to train in a casino years ago, and I was very impressed with chip shuffling, which is where you have 2 stacks of chips and then you run your finger up them and they knit into each other. And I learned how to do that. It took me weeks, but I learned how to do it. There are some pretty amazing characters in that as well. Anyway, so it's just a quick chat and a short catch up today.
Okay, what is an airsoft gun? Well, it's not a real gun. It's a replica of a real gun, and they fire these little plastic BBs. And you can join an airsoft club. You can actually run around in the zone with eye protection on, shooting each other, and then if you get shot, you're out. Balls just bounce off. There's very little power in them.
It's like Laser Quest.
Some of them are gas. This one's a gas. You like a LISO refill. You put gas into it. But anyway, let's get on with it. Let's just show you. Show us what you've got, Fiona. Fiona's toy. As per Terminator 2.
And you've already learnt how to spin it, haven't you?
Sort of.
But please don't above the glass
No.
table.
Well, you got some free balls. Look.
There you go. So,
Excellent.
how do the cartridges work?
Yeah. Well, what happens is you've got these. They're not even full size. These are not even 12, but it's smaller. What you do is you put 3 of these balls in the end of this cartridge, and you can actually see right through it. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah. So you get 3 balls in there, goes in the top, and then you can fire it. And then the trick is to...
My coffee table, my God. Thank God it was
well, you
a
can
small...
see down the end of the barrel, it's just like 6mm, which is airsoft size. But what a cool replica! That is real wood.
It's really heavy, isn't it? And it's
metal.
real wood.
It's nice. It's a really nice replica. I'd hang it on the wall. I think it's really cool.
It's very heavy.
I don't think I'd play airsoft with it because you've got kids running around with AKs and they've got like 350 shots in a magazine, and like you've got
You'd
like
lose.
3 shots
You'd
at
lose.
that. Oh, you definitely lose every time.
What I like about it is this wonderful mechanism. It's so complicated. Now, this is called an 1887.
1887.
Is that
Winchester
because of the
shotgun.
year?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a Winchester as well.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. I double love that because of John Wayne, the Duke, and also the Winchester brothers, Supernatural. My daughter was a huge fan of that show.
Yeah, yeah. Well, everyone's seen cowboy films, the Winchester. John Wayne with his Winchester firing.
The hell I did.
The hell. Well, they made a shotgun as well, and the shotgun was full size, and people used to saw the barrels off. And especially if they were riding shotgun on the stagecoach. You know, because a sawn-off shotgun at close range will take everybody out in front of it. Boom! And that's why they're banned. I mean, you can't have a sawn-off shotgun unless you've got a firearms license.
For those not familiar, a sawn-off shotgun is really the gun of choice for a bank robber.
Yeah, yeah. In the UK,
it fits in one's pocket.
In the UK, 24 inches is the minimum length. If it's shorter than 24, you have to have it on a firearms certificate. But this doesn't need a certificate at all because this is an airsoft gun, and so long as you're over 18, you can buy this on Amazon. And I think it's a really cool little replica.
It's fantastic, isn't it? I mean, there are so many. You could sort of get addicted to collecting these kind of things. But I mean, this is the only one that I wanted. It was like the Diak that I used to have. I used to have an Uzi machine gun.
Deactivated, wasn't it?
Deactivated, yeah. It comes with a certificate. And they put a stamp on it with cross rifles from Birmingham.
But that was a real gun,
yes,
which had been deactivated, and that's it comes with the deactivation certificate. And they're really cool. They're really collectible. You know, you pay a lot of money.
They certainly are. I mean, I sold mine in the end for I paid £99 for it, and I sold it for about £300-400.
More than that, about 5 or 6.
I can't remember now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it has to go to Birmingham for the. It has to be deactivated.
It has to be stamped by the proof house.
Well, it's deactivated by somebody, and then they send it to Birmingham, as I understand, and they double check it's been deactivated correctly. Then they put the stamp on.
Yeah.
But the thing with mine that was so collectible was mine was deactivated before the laws became a lot more strict. So mine was less deactivated than...
Yeah, you could still cock it and fire it, but today they weld them shut, so you can't even cock them. All you can do is hang them on the wall.
Yeah.
So especially for films and studios, because that guy used to rent it out, didn't he? He probably made a load of money renting it out.
He did. He used to use it for films.
So it's probably been in loads of films.
But what I think I'm going to do, I know you're quite controlled with this, but it's quite heavy for me to sling with one arm. So I think we'll probably go out in the middle of nowhere, where I'm not in any danger of breaking anything, just grass, and then I can practice and practice and practice until I've got it.
I'd practice over the sofa in case you drop it,
because it might bounce and break my table.
It's probably alloy and it'll break if you drop it. That's the thing. So I'd practice over the sofa.
But if I do it on grass, it'd be all right.
Yeah, maybe. I think it's really cool.
It is super cool.
I'd like to get one of those old. Do you remember the outlaw Josie Wales? I'd like to get one of those revolvers that he had. Remember the Colt Navy, was it? Something like that. You can get them in Airsoft.
I mean, I know this is a totally different animal, but it's sort of like a stand and deliver. My God, can you imagine if you had two, one in each pocket, and you could get carried away now.
You still go to jail for robbing a bank, you know.
Yes, I know. You can go to jail for having a banana in your pocket, and
if you try and rob a bank, yeah.
If someone believes that you have a gun in your pocket and you make them believe that, yes, of course, that's a criminal offence because you frightened them. But this is not going near any banks or any robberies. This is just purely for learning
we'll have to get a stand for it or something to mount it on the wall or something.
Oh, wall mount, yeah.
That'd look really cool.
Yeah.
I love 1800 stuff. It's great, you know.
It is. And Winchester, no less.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear what you guys are all up to today. And I really I'm thoroughly enjoying the comments from yesterday's video. And a lot of you have named people that, you know, I hadn't even thought of. Well, that would be one of my kids. As always, thank you very much for listening and look forward to seeing you below.